Hi everybody, this is Sarah from Serenity. How are you? How are things going? I hope that you're doing as well as can be expected during this time. We have a lot of interesting astrology coming up, and I'm here today with the November 2020 forecast for Pisces natives. In this video, we'll explore the challenges and lessons of Pisces natives, and this covers Sun, Moon, and Rising sign in Pisces. If you're not already a subscriber, why not sign up now? It's free, yeah. Hit that bell so you can be notified of all the new videos about to drop too. And I don't want you to miss anything. We have, like I say, lots of interesting astrology still to play out for 2020. In today's video, I will be talking about intuitive astrology as well as doing a card reading. And because of that, it may not resonate with everyone because there's thousands and thousands of Pisces natives out there at all different stages of their life. So if it doesn't resonate with you, no worries, just pass it on by, and I do hope you find what you're looking for. Today's reading, we're going to go old school and use the traditional Rider-Waite tarot deck. And I will be asking 6 questions. I'm going to put them up here on the screen too so you can see them. And they are, what are you bringing forward from last month? In other words, what happened at the end of October that started the transition into November? And also we have Mercury retrograde ending on November the 3rd too, and I'm going to talk about that in just a minute too. But I have a video about it. I'll link it up here too if you haven't seen it. It's going to end the 3rd, and then we'll have the post shadow for at least 10 days after. So it will definitely still be affecting us in November. The second card we'll pull will be your fears, challenges, and obstacles for November. What's going for you this month, or what tool you have that you can use to make this transition a little bit easier. Your general health outlook, your general love outlook, and once again, this is a broad reading, so take it with a grain of salt, and where you find yourself at the end of the month, if you stay on the path you're on. And actually, that's why we consult astrology, isn't it? To get an idea of what energy's at play and what we can kind of expect. And then if it doesn't look like things are going to be working out the way we want, we can always make course corrections. And that's what these readings are for too, to give you kind of a heads up. If things are progressing as you like, then hey, keep doing what you're doing. And if not, well, start maybe making some corrections. But by no means is anything like this written in stone. No matter who's doing the reading, myself or anyone else, you still have free choice. So keep that in mind. Okay? And I don't believe it's going to be a doom and gloom reading for you, Pisces, but it's probably going to be up and down as the last several months have been. So, okay, enough talk. Let's get to it. Let me shuffle really quickly. And let's draw the first card. And this will be, once again, what you're bringing forward from October into November to really start the month going. Interesting, the Hierophant. We've already seen this card come up in some other readings as well, so it looks like it's going to be a theme. If you're not familiar with this card, it's also sometimes called the Pope or the Teacher card. It is one of the major cards of the tarot deck. It also represents life lessons, karmatic influences, and usually obstacles or lessons that are not easily changed. They must be worked through. The Hierophant is the masculine counterpart to the High Priestess. So she is divine female energy, he is divine male energy. This card is also connected to and ruled by Taurus. So we have some of those lessons working with it too. Security, home life, trying to find balance. So it's really interesting. It's about spiritual beliefs, religious beliefs, conformity, traditional upbringing versus non-traditional education and things like that. When we look at it as what you're bringing forward, I would say that it is life lessons and karma and all of those big ideas, trying to sort that out through November. But you've been working on some deeper issues. The whole year has been really up and down for you, Pisces, and that's why I haven't been doing specifically very many readings for you, because it's changing day to day. It has been quite a year for you. So I think that you've been looking deeper and turning inward the last probably 2 months, but definitely in October, you were doing some soul searching. You were looking at everything from your religious beliefs to how much you conform to society, and is it worth it? Are you conforming because you feel like you need to fit in, Or is it a form of escapism or even self-punishment? Are you denying yourself what you really need? So it's a lot of heavy, deep issues that you've been wrestling with. And I think that's what you're going to be bringing forward into November. It's going to be more soul searching and asking yourself those tough questions. But this is the time for that. So that's actually really good. And this will move you forward on your healing path. So I think that's a well-placed card. The second card we're going to draw is your fears, challenges, and obstacles for November. So let me just shuffle really quickly. And the second card is the Empress. This is a very interesting card. This is also a major card. It is associated with femininity, motherhood, and the divine. It's also one of the strongest pregnancy cards in the deck too, so just going to throw that out there for you. The Empress signals that we should embrace our softer side, allow ourselves to explore intuition and feelings, but she is also a ruler. So while she has compassion and empathy, and she can come off as very nurturing, she isn't the Queen of Cups. If you're familiar with that card, it is pretty much an emotional woman that is ruled by her feelings and her emotions. This card is not like that. This is about balancing the material and the mental, the intellectual and the physical. She is also strict and balanced, as most all mothers strive to be. That balance between nurturing and caring for your children and also guiding them on a path, helping them with character lessons. This also could indicate that you're having some issues with your mother or a matronly type or motherly type figure in your life. So it's about all of those types of energies. And that could be a big obstacle for you, Pisces, anyway, because you have a tendency to focus on something and just really become super involved in it, and other avenues of your life kind of slip away. It could be that you're focusing too much on the material or mental aspects of life right now, and it's time to really consider your emotions and your spiritual well-being during the month of November. When there is disharmony in our life, the Empress shows us that through compassion, both for ourselves and others, that with diligence and attention, we too can regain our balance. That this is just a temporary cycle and will also pass. Whatever area of your life seems out of balance, I think that, yeah, that needs to be addressed, but I think you will be able to. I think that you will have the time and the space needed to be able to address it. And that will be your obstacle to really understand what it is and then strive to put it back in balance. It's not a bad card, and the placement makes sense, especially with the year that you've had. Okay, so let me shuffle and we'll draw the third card, which is what's going for you, or what asset or tool do you have at your disposal that you can use to make this an easier transition in November. The Wheel of Fortune, which basically means anything could happen. We're talking about changes of life cycles. We're talking about destiny, about fate, about winning the lottery, about losing the ticket on the way to turn it in. Yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily everything is going great card. It just means anything could happen. And because of that, that's a really interesting placement, isn't it? That it's going to be your tool to use. But I mean, yeah, anything could happen. So if you set your mind on something, there is a possibility that it will work out. In a time when normally it wouldn't be possible, this card lets us know it is. The universe is working in your favor, basically. But you have to be really clear and you have to stay focused on what you're doing, or things could flip, the wheel could spin, and just as easily as things worked out, they could fall apart. I said earlier that Mercury retrograde was going to end on November the 3rd. And then we have post-retrograde shadow afterwards. Some astrologers think that it is as strong as the actual retrograde itself. We're not quite out of the woods yet. We're still in that anything could happen with a mishap with communication or electronics breaking, those kind of things, small accidents. So when you add that in there too, I would just say be careful. But the placement of this card seems to highlight that things are going to work out for you yes, in ways that you don't expect. And like I say, the universe is working in your favor. Just make sure most of the time you are focusing on your intention, not worrying, that you're staying focused on what you want to happen, not slipping into fear or worry, because you don't want to manifest that. Yeah, this is an interesting card. There is also a little bit of karma associated with this card. So all the good deeds that you've done in the past will pay off for you in the future, and that could be now. This could be the time that you do collect those rewards. Interesting placement for the card, but overall I would say, yeah, it's very good, and the sky's the limit. Really dream big this month about what you want to happen, and don't be afraid to ask the universe for it. That's so interesting. Let's see what the next card is, and it's going to be your health. Let me shuffle just really quickly. And of course, let me say again that this is just a general broad reading. If you are feeling unwell, don't hesitate to seek proper medical care. Let's see what the card is. And the card is the Four of Swords, which is repose. I've seen this card come up already in November readings. I've been doing that, and the Hierophant seem to be a theme for November. But of course, that's what we should expect. This is about turning inward. This is about resting. This is about getting clear on what we really want and doing the hard inner work. This card is really about resting, about restoring your health, about getting clear on what needs to change in your health routine as well. And that could include your mental health as well, limiting your time around toxic people. It could also be something like making sure you get enough sleep, or that you are eating a healthy diet. So it looks like that's probably going to be the main focus for your health. If you can get the sleep that you need, if you can restore your body, then everything should be fine. I don't really think there's going to be any major issues, maybe a cold or a sniffles. I don't think it's going to turn it into anything horrible, but that also depends on your immune system and how healthy you are before you get it. So obviously watch your diet, staying up too late and not getting enough rest, and those type of issues. And yeah, I think probably you'll be okay. This card is somewhat frightening when it comes up, but it's really not a bad card at all. It's just about contemplation and recuperation. So if you haven't been feeling well, then definitely make time in November to take care of yourself. Maybe take a trip to the doctor if you're not getting better. Okay, so let's shuffle, and the next card will be love. And we will break this down to partnered Pisces and single Pisces. Oh, the Hanged Man. And that's interesting in a love placement too. This is another major card, so we can see that we're getting quite a few of the major cards in this reading, which would also highlight the fact that this is more big life lessons and more destiny type stuff than something that's just, you got off the path, just get back on it now. No, this is big ideas and big lessons that you're moving through. This card is really interesting too, because some readers really think this is a negative card. It's about being trapped, about being, uncertain, lack of direction, and that you need a release, you need to break free. I never saw it that way. The Hanged Man represents Odin, and he made a decision to hang. So as you can see, he doesn't look like he's fighting. So this is about enlightenment because you want it, or this is studying so that you can learn the lessons. I see it more like that. So if we apply it to your love life or your relationships, single Pisces, you know basically what you want, what kind of relationship will serve you, and you basically know that it has to be a certain type of person to fit into your lifestyle. So far, there's really not been anybody around who fit that criteria, but that's likely to change by the end of the month and going into December. There will be someone new showing up after we begin Sagittarius season. The question is, will you move forward rapidly just because you're lonely, or will you take your time and really get to know the person? Either way will probably be fine, except this is probably not the only person that will be showing up. Use a little bit of discernment and don't settle. Just because you're lonely, don't settle. Committed or partnered Pisces, it looks like you've been having some problems with your relationship. It's been going up and down, and your partner is feeling maybe that they need to take a step back from the relationship. The communication is not there, and you're not really sure if this is worth fighting for, to be honest. Any decision that you make needs to be made towards the end of the month. Don't rush into it. And I know by nature you're not going to make a hasty decision. Sometimes we focus on the positive in relationships and put on rosy glasses and don't see what's actually happening day to day. Talk to your partner and really listen, be present and listen, and talk things out and see if it is something that you both want to mend, then definitely you can, but both parties have to be on board. So if you've been holding feelings for an ex or maybe somebody that you ran into that you have a crush on, but you're not going to explore it because you are partnered, you can look at this too as a question of why is this coming up and why are you drawn to this person? Is it something about them? Is it a physical characteristic? Is it their personality? What is it? And is it something that's missing in your current relationship? Or is this more the idea of someone that you don't really know? Or the idea of who your ex was but maybe isn't now? So really, this is more soul-searching time for you as well. But don't do anything until the end of the month, though. Okay, and the last card, which will be, where will you be at the end of the month if you continue on in this same direction? And the card is the Ten of Swords. This card is an indication of what you will be facing at the end of November if you continue on in the manner that you are moving now. In other words, there's some fundamental changes you need to make happen during the month of November. And I'm willing to bet you know what they are. There are some problems that have been brewing. You know you've got off the path. You know you've listened to the wrong people's advice and guidance, and you haven't taken care of business as you know you should have. You have the month of November to get this under control. If you don't, then this looks like where you're going to be at the end of the month. Struggling, feeling like you were stabbed in the back, feeling like no one is there for you, feeling like everything is hopeless. The good news, though, is you're seeing this now, so you do have time to make those course corrections. Overall, it's not a good card, no, but there are many worse than this. And it looks like you do have the opportunity, you do have the tools. Remember, anything could happen. You're going to be at a better place when you begin the month. Take the time you need to work through these problems, and this won't be an issue. I know you can do it, and I know that you can get through this. Commit to yourself and commit to the process, and you'll be fine. I hope you found this reading helpful, and remember, it's not written in stone. You can change the path you're on today. Also remember, this was a very broad general reading. If you would like your own personal reading, you can find me at Serenity. I'll put my information up here and below in the description box. I do have monthly specials, but they do sell out really quickly. So if you would like your own personal reading, please contact me quickly. Once again, guys, thank you so much for watching and being a part of the Serenity family. Stay tuned for the next video. Reiki blessings. Bye-bye.